Hello. Hopefully you can hear me. But hello everyone. Today I just wanted to really quickly drop in and talk about why you're not finding a traditional man. Why are you not finding a man who is in his masculine energy? Why you're not finding someone who is more traditional. Like, I don't really know a better word for it. I think that really sums up everything. Has more traditional values, wants to be a provider, wants to value family, not even wants to value marriage, like actually values the sacred union between two people, right? Okay, so this is something that has been just coming in for me so strongly, and I feel like somebody literally needs this message so badly right now. So let me know in the chat if, first of all, you can hear me. Also, just if you're listening to the replay, drop a hashtag replay in the comments. But let's get into it. So I'm gonna get a little fiery on this one because everything just clicked. Everything just clicked for me in the past really like 3 weeks. So what I realized whenever I was like not attracting men who wanted to be masculine, wanted to be a provider, all that sort of stuff, like they literally couldn't care less about it. They didn't value it, everything. Okay, you can hear me. Awesome. Hi, Happy. How are you? So whenever I was not attracting the type of men that I wanted into my life, basically I had no clue what my own values were. No idea. Literally, I was just changing with whatever the media told me I should believe. I was just changing with whatever was cool, whatever was, acceptable within the current social climate, right? And I mean, that never does anyone any good. Let's be honest. So whenever I was so unsure of like what my core values were, right? Like, what did I believe? Not what did other people tell me to believe, not what did other people tell me were good things to value in a man. Also, usually these people who are telling you these things aren't even in a relationship, don't have good relationships themselves, like are into hookup culture, don't care about getting married, don't care about having children, whatever, right? So these are not the people we want to listen to. That's like asking someone, how do I run my business and make $1 million? And you're asking a person who's literally only worked in corporate their entire life. Like, they don't know. They don't know how to run a business, right? So these people also don't know how to function within a relationship or within dating actual masculine traditional men, okay? So how do we get our values in check, right? I want to go into that in a second, because first of all, what I want to say is I talk a lot about attracting a masculine man, attracting this is what people, think they want, right? And I mean, I think it's amazing. Those definitely are the type of men that I would highly recommend that you only date these types of men. But the thing is that what benefits even come with that, right? What benefits come with dating a man who is, spiritually awake, a man who is in his masculine, a man who wants to provide? What are the benefits? It's not just money. Like, to me, that's the baseline, right? Like, that is how you can tell that somebody values themselves and as a man, for sure, values himself, is able to work in integrity, is able to be, a hard worker, is able to be someone who's going to be a good father, provide for your family, provide for you, like filling his traditional role. I don't even want to get into gender roles. I think that's so stupid. But just like his role, right? And so all the perks to this is that you're going to be valued in your femininity. You're going to be valued as a woman. This is the thing that I think we have all switched around, right, in society, is trying to say that more traditional men want to control women and that they don't value them. Let me tell you, that is so wrong. That is so wrong. That is so opposite of the truth. And I think that's really messing with a lot of women's heads. Because this is actually what I want to get into too. So let me kind of, sum up the benefits, right? You're going to be loved deeply, like at a spiritual level. It's not just being used like for your body, for a man's pleasure, right? That's not what these relationships are based on. Like, a sacred union is based on valuing the femininity, the masculinity, understanding that we are not equal, right? We are complementary. We don't bring the same things to the table. That's like, we're not in competition with one another. We're not competing with the man that we're dating. That's a literal romance killer, if anything. Like, no, don't stop doing that today, right? The benefits also, if we want to get like logical here, the benefits are you're not going to be with a man who expects you to work while like on maternity leave or whatever, right? He's going to value the fact that you want to stay home with your children, or you want to stay home and be a homemaker. Those are literal valuable things. Like, you pay maids, you pay babysitters or daycares, you pay for, food to be cooked for you. Yet homemakers do all of this for no pay. And yet, apparently it's radical to be provided for, right? Like, that's crazy. So you'll get a man who actually values this. A man who is excited to have children with you rather than viewing them as some inconvenience, right? So, okay, this is why you can't find a traditional man, is because society is telling us that men who are more conservative, have traditional values, men who are religious or at least spiritually awake, are trying to control women. That's the narrative that we're fed. And I fell for it for a long time. I was like the biggest man hater for a whole year. And I can't believe it. Like, wow, I cannot believe that I was like that. But I was, because I was like brainwashed by this whole narrative that was pushed that men are bad, men are controlling, like, especially if they're conservative or traditional values, like they just want to control you. And it's like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Yes, I'm going to be posting this on my page. So, this is what I see a lot of, feminine coaches and stuff posting about why you aren't attracting a masculine man. Well, like, you need to look pretty and da-da-da-da. Let me roll my freaking eyes, because like, yes, of course, like, I don't really understand what woman doesn't love to look beautiful. I think that's pretty obvious. It's kind of like, duh, right? I told you I'm going to get fiery on this one. But you can't demonize I guess I'm just going to make this political here. You can't demonize the traditional values of men who actually value family, marriage, sacred union, value your feminine energy. You cannot demonize these people and then want to attract someone who wants to provide for you. Because the people on the other side who do not value marriage, who do not value feminine energy, who want to go 50-50 with you, who think you're equal to them, the male feminists and all this BS, right? Those people are not providers. Like, these men are not providers. You cannot, I'm sure there are exceptions to both sides, but the men who actually want to provide are the ones who are more traditional. That's it. So if you're doing everything right, if you're, doing everything to cultivate your feminine energy, your femininity on the exterior too, I think it's important. I know people love to say that it's not like important, right? But it is, literally. The men who value that are not the men who want to go 50-50 with you, are not the men who are advocating for feminism and like playing into this whole thing that women are oppressed if they're housewives, or women are oppressed if they don't want to work. Like, no. If men say things like that to you, run. They're brainwashed. They're weird. Like, that's just weird energy. We don't want that. We need men that really care about us and to protect us, not use us. Totally agree. Exactly. And so this is what I want to also talk about, is the fact that what kind of men are the men that use women? Or let's also talk about what narrative has led to this, right? How about hookup culture? How about sexual liberation? Which I have an interesting view on this, because I don't really see sexual energy the same way that a lot of people do, but giving it away to men who are not even going, like, I'm not saying you should give it to someone who buys you dinner. No, what? Come on. What I'm saying is that's just like the bare minimum, right? If he's not even willing to buy you dinner or provide for you or commit to you or anything like that, why are we giving up our sexual energy? That's kind of also, that's like a masculine test. I don't know. I think feminine only does the testing. I'm actually not super sure about masculine tests, but I'm sure that masculine tests as well, right? Well, that's kind of a masculine test. Like, what is the least I can do to get the most from a woman, right? And if we give anything up, like I'm not even talking about sexual energy, right? If we give up our feminine energy so easily, if we give up our time, if we give up our power, if we give up all of our emotion to someone who is like not even meeting the bare minimum. And the bare minimum for me is like probably a lot higher than what a lot of people think the bare minimum is. But I encourage all of you to get clear on what that is for you. Get clear on your values. Get clear and see where you're being a little bit hypocritical. Because I was doing that for a really long time. Where are you being hypocritical within your beliefs? Like, you want something, you want this more like traditional sort of union, right? You want marriage, you want family, you want all of these things, you want to be a homemaker, yet you like crucify traditional conservative men. That doesn't add up, okay? It literally doesn't add up. You're advocating for something that is, or let me put this a different way. You're advocating against something you like or something you desire. It doesn't add up, right? So if you're having issues with this, if you're doing everything right, but you are demonizing the people that you actually want, then stop. It's actually very simple. I would really encourage you to DM me if this is something you're struggling with, because I just went like through a huge awakening with this, a huge like up level. I realized that I felt this weird like space. I kept like meditating and visualizing or like trying to see what was going on, and there was this like black empty hole space where I was like, something is disconnecting within me, or like something is disconnected. And I realized that it was this, because now that does not feel like that anymore. So, definitely reassess your entire values, honestly. Like literally go through them and be like, which one is actually me? Which one do I actually align with? And which one have I been told to agree with, to be politically correct, or whatever they're calling it, woke now, right? Men need to also understand what it is to be masculine, because some of them has a misconception about masculine energy. Is to get as much women in power as they can. Yeah, that's kind of like a weird red pill narrative that I've seen. And honestly, I feel like, and that's a wound that women pay for. Well, yes and no. I actually kind of disagree with that a little bit because, I actually completely disagree with that, because we have the choice to accept that or not. Like, once somebody shows those red flags, like, you leave, So, like, personally, I get so disgusted if something like that is going on. So, like, I'm just going to leave. I'm not going to put myself in that situation. But I find that kind of like a red pill narrative. And I actually kind of equate this to, like, the very performative femininity sort of movement, I guess you would say. So this is how I see it. So we have people who've never heard of, like, masculine feminine energy, right? And then we have people who are, like, wanting to level up. They're starting to get into, oh, cool, like, I realize I've been neglecting my feminine energy. Or maybe it's a man who's like, oh, okay, I haven't been in my masculine energy, and now I want to be in my masculine energy so that I can get women. Okay, well, that's not like inherently a bad thing. Like, that's fine, because I think that's where a lot of women start too. A lot of women start with, oh, I want to cultivate my femininity. I want to cultivate my feminine energy because I want to attract a man. I don't think there's inherently anything wrong with either of those. I think that's just the first step. Like, we all have these steps in our awakening or healing, right? And so that like red pill step of, I don't even remember exactly what red pill believes, but it's not like this divine masculine. It's more of this a little bit wounded masculine, but kind of stepping into the masculine. I think that sometimes it's just like a little phase that men have to go through. I don't know. That's just some steps of some people's journeys. I personally would not like even talk to someone who believed that, but that's our job to not pay attention to it, not enable it, because that, like, whenever we don't pay attention to something, somebody has to like up level more to be able to actually access feminine women. You see what I mean? So just like if we're just being feminine on the outside, we may attract men, but we aren't going to attract the like divine masculine if we don't have that inside of us. We aren't going to attract that like deep sacred union. We aren't going to attract a man who has his divine masculine and divine feminine balance. We aren't going to attract a spiritually awakened man who loves the feminine energy, who like so deeply appreciates it. And like, that's what they know that we bring to the table, right? And so that's just a calling, and that's just another like test from the universe, from God, saying, hey, I'm calling you to like up level more. You're not done yet. You're not done yet, right? And so I think that goes for men and women. Yeah, and unfortunately, like the femininity movement alone, without like internal feminine energy work, that can also be quite manipulative, right? Like if we're just wanting to act like we're going to be feminine for a man and they really value that, and we've like tricked them that we're feminine but we're not, because we're actually masculine on the inside but we look feminine. I mean, that's kind of manipulative too. It is quite manipulative. I mean, that is the shadow side of the feminine, is manipulation. So that goes for men and women. Okay, so definitely DM me if you have been going through like a similar shift, or if you're just curious about my shift even deeper, and I'd be happy to talk about it with you. I do want to just like put a few offers out there that I have available, because I know many women have been interested in working with me, and I feel like I'm like getting mad at myself over here because I feel like I haven't been clear about like what offers are available. So basically I have, today 21st or the 20th, I don't know. On the 22nd, I'm going to be starting Worthy Womanhood Intensive. It's going to be 3 amazing days with me. We're going to have these really, really super intensive integrating calls together, and it's going to be amazing. The price is $222. So DM me for the link. It's going to be absolutely amazing. It's going to come with a bonus call as well. We're going to focus on like, why are you not feeling your self-worth? We're going to focus on self-confidence. You're going to come out a badass, confident, spiritual woman who very easily attracts wealth, men, everything. And Alina says, if a man cheats once, will always cheat. I think that, I don't know if, like, I can't say if this is like an always thing, right? I personally wouldn't really trust a man who has cheated before, but that's like up to your personal discernment, right? So if this is like in his past life before he leveled up and became like this divine masculine, and he's like, oh my God, that was so horrible of me, I would never do it again. I don't know, like that's your discernment if you think that he's telling the truth or not. But I wouldn't say that if somebody does something once that they will always do it or never do it again or whatever, right? Like, it's not black and white like that. So, yes. So anyways, also, this is super exciting. Y'all are actually the first people who are hearing about this. I'm going to post it, on my page and my stories, right after this actually. But so on August 15th, I'm going to, or was going to be starting my Divine Dark Femme course. And I realize it's like way too far away. Like I want to start sooner. I'm impatient. I want it now. I want y'all to transform now. That's too far away. So this is really exciting. So for those of you who are like, I really, really want to work with you, but I just haven't like manifested the money for it yet, or I haven't manifested, the best situation yet, listen to this. So I'm going to be launching a super beta, like first time beta program of Divine Dark Femme. And it's going to be like a mini kind of compact sort of course, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to have 6 weeks together. We're going to do a call every single week. We're going to have 6 weeks together, and it's going to be, I believe, like half the price. What's coming through for me is $888 for 6 weeks. Super beta program. So all of this is going to be built around you. It's going to be built around what you need, and you'll get all future editions of the course, which is going to be like so much that you'll get just like compiled over, the next year or however long I run this, right? Because I'm going to be doing like multiple rounds. So basically in Divine Dark Femme, DM me if you want the information, because I'm only going to be accepting, I think like 4 or 5 women into this one. And I'm going to run it for 6 weeks, and there's going to be a payment plan. So yay. So excited. If you're interested, DM me. It's going to be literally like half the price of the Divine Dark Femme program. And so the price is just going to keep going up for this, because I'm just going to keep adding more. It's going to become more consolidated. And this is really going to be like my long time program. So awesome. If you're interested in that, DM me. But keep an eye on my stories as well. As always, I actually have one or two spots left for the end of July for just like one-on-one coaching. So if you're interested in that and really want those like quantum leaps fast, want that Voxer access with me, DM me about that, DM me coaching. I have definitely one spot left. I might have two for July, but this program is actually going to start on August 3rd, the Divine Dark Femme beta. So keep an eye out for that. We're going to be filling it up super quick. I'm only taking 5 women, so I think it's going to be an absolutely amazing group. I'm already getting like flash forwards of this, and it's going to be so perfect. So, all right. Love y'all so much. If y'all missed the start of this, definitely go back and watch this replay because it is fiery. I'm just speaking the straight truth. We're going unfiltered AF over here. So, love y'all so much. DM me if you're interested in any of those offers, and keep an eye on my page because I'll be posting super juicy stuff. So bye everyone. Love you so much.